Some say it is the last taboo. Male rape. It's a subject that we don't cover often, but to try and to encourage male victims to seek help and to increase the support available, the government's provided an awful lot of money to do precisely that. Something like, you won't believe the figure really, it's a phenomenal amount of money, but the sum, they've provided £500,000 worth of funding. 72,000 men, we think, are raped each year. Just over 2,000 reported to police last year. Why the difference? Duncan Craig founded the charity Survivors Manchester. Hiya.
Morning, Alan.
Now the numbers, 2,000 reported, 70,000 more unreported.
Sure.
How do we make that?
I mean, we can only know what we know. We can't know what we don't know. And, with those figures, we're really only looking at estimates. We're not looking at those figures don't include men who were abused in childhood, who then, like myself, who then have kind of kept quiet over the years, not said anything, and are kind of like dealing with the issues now. We need to kind of really start looking a bit more in depth at prevalence and really looking at what problem have we got. Of
course we do. I'm intrigued at the number. I'm always obsessed by numbers, even though I didn't know what that play was about a moment ago. But, I mean, is it a number out the sky, or is there some formula that's led you to it?
This in terms of, like, the Ministry of Justice, that all comes from things like the British Crime Survey. So we're looking at the British Crime Survey along with kind of reported numbers of rapes. So it works out to be about 12%. So of all reported rapes, approximately 12% of all of those come from men.
So it's an extrapolation from that. Now, you just told us you were abused, you were raped. Why did you not seek support immediately?
Well, I was abused from about 11 to about 16 outside of the family, which is quite common for men. And I think rape and sexual abuse has something intrinsic in it, in the act, where the perpetrator in some way instills an idea that this is your fault. So for many, many, many years, first of all, I didn't even recognise it was abuse. I didn't recognise it was rape. And secondly, I thought it was my fault. Why would I want to speak to everybody about something that I believe is my fault? That in some way that it's my fault, that I will be judged for it and I'll be blamed for it.
How does society respond when finally you do say, this is what happened to me?
I've been amazingly, I guess, lucky. I've heard some horrible stories about people being rejected. I've lost some friends along the way. But on the whole, I have to say that it's been a really positive response, and I've felt really well supported. The organisation I set up, Survivors Manchester, and hopefully we will benefit from some of this money should we be successful with our application. The reason that was set up, because when I revealed about myself back in 2007, 2008, there was no support. I was ringing hotlines, I was trying to get help, and just kept getting told, because I'm a male, these services only deal with females. So I had to go outside of Manchester, and, as a proud Mancunian, I thought, this is ridiculous, we need something here. So in 2009 we opened our doors, and since then we've supported over 450 men.
450?
And I think we're only scratching the surface.
Is there anything universal in those four, apart from what has happened to them, in the way they've dealt with it?
Yeah, there's often it's internalised anger. Often it's someone feeling guilty, feeling ashamed. Shame is intrinsically linked to sexual violence for both men and women. But there's something interesting as a psychotherapist, as someone interested in psychology, there's something interesting about men and shame, and what do we do with it. And often, things like drugs and alcohol can be involved, poor mental health, self-harming behaviours, anything that can avoid detection, anything we can do to make sure that we don't realise what's happening and other people don't realise what's happening.
You started with internalised anger.
Yeah.
Anger at what?
I think anger at the world. Why did no one stop this? Why me? We know that big question, that when something happens to us, the big question is, why me? And I think what we do as males very often with poor mental health is that we internalise that. I think often the anger is externalised, and I've I've been a very angry person throughout the years, but I've probably been more angry towards myself for so-called letting this happen, because that was my belief.
How will money help? The government's put £500,000 aside. Your organisation wants a chunk of it. I don't blame you, but how will money help?
We'll be able to provide premises. We'll be able to provide counsellors and psychotherapists. We'll be able to continue with our support group. We'll be able to continue with our website. We'll be able to make sure that our helpline's still running. All of these services that make the silence be broken. You know, that's the key to this. Break the silence. Stop thinking that you're on your own, because you're not, guys. You can come forward. There are people to help, and you're not on your own. That isolation needs to be broken, and this money, I think, will help that, definitely. And
you said you have a helpline. Why not give the number out?
0161 236 2182.
And we've got that on file if anyone needs it. Duncan, thank you very much. Duncan Craig, founder of Survivors Charity, thank you.